It's time for Wildcat Baseball. Let's go to Wildcat Park where tonight's game is called by KSST Sports Director Don Julian. Don?
Well, James Terry, thank you very much and welcome everyone into Wildcat Park. We've got a district baseball game between the Greenville Lions and the Wildcats of Sulphur Springs. And let me tell you why this is a very important game for both of these teams. Although you look at the records and you would wonder, the Greenville Lions are 3-7 in district play. They're tied for the fourth and final playoff spot with Royce City. And the Wildcats are 2-8. And despite that record, they are just one game out of the playoff picture. And the reason this is such an important game is in this three-game series that they're playing this year with every district team, each of the schools has won one game. The Wildcats won back here on something like the Ides of March, and Greenville won Tuesday night coming from behind. So each team has won one. The team that wins this game tonight will have the tiebreaker in case these two teams end up tied somehow for that fourth playoff spot. Of course, Royce City's in the picture, and they've already got the tiebreaker on the Wildcats, so the Wildcats have to completely hop over them, which means they've got to start winning some baseball games, and this would be a good place to start. It's getting late in the district campaign, 10 games down and only 5 to play. Wildcats 2 left with Texas High, 2 left with Mount Pleasant, and this game with Greenville tonight. Let's check in now with Jeff Harris for introduction of the teams.
And your Sulphur Springs Wildcats. Now here's the lineup for Greenville. Batting first on the mound tonight for the Lions, number 1, Landon Kogure. Batting second, playing third, number 6, Brody Wiggins. Batting third, playing first, number 10, Clay Burnett. Batting fourth, playing left field, number 2, Brandon Stevens. Batting fifth, playing center field, number 12, Jack Phillips. Batting sixth, playing shortstop, number 3, Luke Adele. Batting seventh and catching tonight for Greenville, number 13, Braden Hudson. Batting eighth, playing second, number 14, Garrett Phillips. And batting ninth, playing right field, number 7, Jose Martinez. And now here is the rest of the Lions lineup. Number 4, Daniel Bailey. Number 5, Hayden Swansea. Number 8, Ian Miller. Number 11, Nathan Lancaster. Number 15, Wyatt Spivey. Number 16, Gage Duvall. Number 22, Brady Diggs. And number 25, Tyler Seal. Head coach of the Lions is Nick Gazelle. Assistant coaches, Matt Hanson and Blaine Millman. And now, here is the lineup for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats. Batting first, playing shortstop, number 3, Caden Argenbright. Batting second, playing second base, number 6, Colson Hale. Batting third and on the mound tonight for the Wildcats, number 4, Jackson Cheney. Batting fourth, playing first base, number 8, Cameron Harrison. Batting fifth, playing center field, number 11, Austin Dodd. Batting sixth and catching tonight for the Wildcats, number 12, Jace Birchfield. Batting seventh, playing third base, number 7, Will Sims. Batting eighth, playing left field, number 5, Jace Thompson. And batting ninth, playing right field, number 17, Connor Bergen. Here are the rest of your Wildcats. Number 1, Bryce McQueen. Number 2, Jake Davis. Number 14, Jason Edwards. Number 15, Cameron Zahn. Number 21, Austin Krause. And number 24, Jaden Janway. Head coach of Sulphur Springs is Jared Hammock. Assistant coaches Bruce Silvan, Cameron Warren, Shane McQueen, and Joey Chastain. At this time, we'd like to ask everyone to please stand. And gentlemen, would you please remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
And that's Jeff Harris, one of the best in the business, maybe the best. Does a great job of making sure he pronounces everybody's name right. And just, he's very dogged in the pursuit of getting those lineups and identifying the way to say names and all that stuff. Does a great job. Well, pitching for the Wildcats tonight is Jackson Cheney. And throwing into the catcher, Jace Birchfield. Cameron Harrison is down at first. Colson Hale at second. Will Sims down at third. And Caden Argenbright at shortstop for the Wildcats. Out in left field is Jace Thompson. Austin Dodd in center. And Connor Bergen in right field. That's the Wildcats defensively. I was looking at one of the players for Greenville, just trying to get a good look at a really, really, really great soccer player that's on this baseball team. He's not in the starting lineup. Ian Miller, that's got to be one and the same. I don't know, that's not all that unusual of a name, but I bet it's the same player. He looks like he would be a holy terror on the soccer pitch. one of perhaps the shortest player on the Greenville team, but I mean, that guy can put the ball in the net. As we found out the last couple of times he's been at Prim Stadium playing for the Greenville Lions. I was just kind of fascinated by that, watching him when the reserves were introduced. I was trying to get a good look at him because he is something else. Probably, and I forget where his soccer scholarship is, but it's somewhere nice where they, up north where they play soccer and enjoy it. Leading off will be the pitcher now for the Greenville Lions. This is Landon Kogure.
The pitcher, number 1, Landon Kogure.
Kogure was the winning pitcher on Tuesday night in that wild game that Greenville Lions came from behind and won 10-9 in 8 innings. And Kogure had mopped up in the top of the 8th and got out of the inning. Here's Jackson Cheney's first pitch, swung on and hit out toward right field. Base hit for Landon Kogure over the head of Colson Hale, and in between him and the right fielder Connor Bergen. So first pitch, and Landon Kogure serves a single out into right field. That'll bring up Rhodey Wiggins. Wiggins is the third baseman for the Greenville Lions. Hits from the right side to see if he'll be bunting. Wildcats at double play depth at second and short. Third baseman's in on the grass. First baseman holding on the runner. Here's a bunt. It's bunted, a beauty down the first baseline, and it looked like the runner hit the ball, and then it spun out of bounds. And I guess they rule that didn't happen. The ball just rolled into foul territory. So a foul ball, or strike one, on the attempted bunt by Rhodey Wiggins. Kogure returns to first. He's running for himself, by the way. Now Cheney steps off, kind of a soft toss over at first base. That's that I know you're over there throw. Definitely not serious. You're just kind of making that guy know you're aware he's over there. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Kogure takes off. Here's the Birchfield throw to second. They tried to swipe the tag. They did not get the tag on the runner, and Kogure is now stolen second. So Greenville with a man in scoring position. They're doing what their JV couldn't do in 5 tries. They're threatening to score a run. The Wildcats JV won 16-0 over Greenville in the JV contest. Now Birchfield will trot out and we'll talk to Jackson Cheney. Things change when an opponent gets a runner at second base, where that runner can peer in and get those signs. Wouldn't be too long till he could steal them all and could share that information with his team. A 1-1 count to Rhodey Wiggins. Cheney from the stretch looks back at second. And here's the 1-1 pitch. It's bunted on. It's another beauty. Cheney off the mound. He throws to first and out at first base. Good play, Jackson Cheney, firing over to Colson Hale, who was covering at first base, and a beautiful sacrifice by Rhodey Wiggins. He really did his job. He's got that runner around to third base with just one out. And here's Clay Burnett, first baseman, big right-handed hitter for Greenville, waggling that bat high over his head. And Cheney looks at that runner at third, and here's the first pitch, breaking ball, called strike on the outside part of the plate. 0-1 the count to Clay Burnett. And Cheney from the stretch. And the 0-1 pitch swung on, grounded down to first base. Kogure will stay put. Cameron Harrison will tag the bag. And that's out number 2. Big out there by Jackson Cheney. He got that bouncing ball down to Cameron Harrison at first. So that's 2 out now with Kogure at third base, and here's Brandon Stevens. He's the left fielder for the Greenville Lions. Open stance at home plate. Got that left leg opening up a little bit. Now a timeout taken as Jackson Cheney stepped off the rubber out there on the mound. And the umpire called timeout. Stevens stepped out. He's back in now. And here's Cheney's first pitch to Stevens. Breaking ball swung on, grounded to third baseman. Oh, it's booted there by Will Sims. The throw to first. He got him anyway. Way to hang with it, Will Sims. as he kept after that ball and then fired to first. And that'll do it for Greenville. A hit, but nothing more. They had no runs, one hit. There were no Wildcat errors, and one runner left on base. We played half an inning here from Wildcat Park. The Greenville Lions 0, and the Wildcats coming to bat. The first inning, and a big thank you goes out to head coach Nick Kozole of Greenville. He's agreed to allow us to live stream video tonight on YouTube, and I think there's a link also at KSSTradio.com where you can just click right on the appropriate thing and just get that streaming happening immediately. So we are live streaming tonight. The game will be posted on YouTube for anybody to see. And it will also have a tape delay broadcast on Channel 18. So, again, we appreciate Coach Kozole. And we've had good luck with these coaches this year. All the baseball coaches that we talked to have agreed to everything that we would like to do. So we appreciate them. And then that means the game is going back to Greenville tonight. So anybody in Greenville can pick this ball game up. Stepping in now, Caden Argenbright hitting from the left side. And here's Landon Kogure's first pitch, a breaking ball outside for ball one. 1-0 the count to Caden Argenbright. And Kogure with a 1-0 pitch. It's swung on by Argenbright and popped on the infield. Second baseman taking charge and makes the catch out there. That's Garrett Phillips for out number one. Well, if you try something and it's successful, you might try it again. The Wildcats put an order together for the Greenville game Tuesday that featured the best on-base percentages in district play for the Wildcats. And that resulted in Argenbright hitting first. There's a pitch high and inside, ball one to Colson Hale, and Colson Hale hitting second. He is really good at getting on base. Works a lot of walks. He may not have a lot of hits like some of the other players, but he's up there in that 2 spot because he gets on base a lot. And Kogure's 1-0 pitch swung on, blasted to left field by Colson Hale. That just almost ripped the third baseman's glove off, and a solid hit by Colson Hale. That was nice. And that'll bring up the big bopper, Jackson Cheney. But anyway, Coach Hammock liked the results from scheduling his hitters that way. And they had 9 runs and 12 hits. It wasn't hitting the other night that cost them that ball game. It was some other things. Fielding for one thing. And here's Kogure's first pitch. Jackson Cheney just missed outside, 1-0 the count, and Hale stays put at first. Yeah, needed better pitching the other night and better fielding with 6 errors. That's just way too many. And 1-0 pitch to Jackson Cheney. That just missed. Boy, I must not be seeing the plate good yet. I thought both of those might be strikes, but 2-0 the count to Jackson Cheney. Here's a throw to first. It got away, and Colson Hale will scramble down to second base. He may head to third. Colson is heading to third base, and he will be in there easily. A error on the pitcher, Kogure, throwing over at first, and he threw it down in the dirt. Got by the first baseman over there, Clay Burnett. And Colson Hale all the way around to third base with just 1 out. And Coach Jared Hammock is talking to Hale. Now they're at third base. The count's still 2-0 on Cheney, as he hadn't seen a pitch in a while after that wild throw to first. And Kogure from the stretch. One out, runner at third. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Called strike on the outside part of the plate. 2-1 the count to Jackson Cheney. He was a one-man wrecking crew against this Greenville team back on the Ides of March. 2-1 pitch, breaking ball swung on and foul tipped at home plate, and the count is 2-2. Yeah, beware the Ides of March Greenville. When Jackson Cheney was concerned, he had a grand slam homer and a 3-run homer in a 9-2 Wildcats win. Kogure from the stretch. And the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. And that's out number 2. That's kind of a microcosm of what we've seen with this season. Runner down at third base with less than 2 outs, and see if we can. It's too early to say we didn't get him in. Let's see if we can. Here's Cameron Harrison hitting from the left side. And Kogure's pitch on the way, breaking ball just off the plate. Boy, it looked like a good pitch, but ball 1 is the count to Cameron Harrison. Harrison, a speed demon. They're playing him back deep at second and short. 1-0 pitch, swung on and fisted just off the line, foul. Had it been in fair territory, the third baseman might have had a pretty good shot at it. That was cued foul off, like it hit him right on the hands. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Cameron Harrison. And Kogure's 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on, hit foul out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Cameron Harrison. Fans like to call him Camo. Hear that a lot. I was amongst them the other night, so I had a chance to kind of be a fan a little bit. As Matt Young is in the ballpark, just walked his way in. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And Kogure with a runner at first, and just less than 2 outs, and he struck out 2 Wildcat batters. And for the Wildcats, the same line as Greenville. No runs, 1 hit, except Greenville did commit an error, and there was 1 Wildcat left on base. So we played 1 inning of play here at Wildcat Park. Wildcats of Sulphur Springs 0 and Greenville 0. Hitters 5, 6, and 7 for the Lions in this inning. Jack Phillips, Luke Adell, and Braden Hudspeth scheduled to hit for the Greenville Lions. Here's Jack Phillips. He's in the 5-hole tonight. He is the center fielder for the Lions, another right-handed hitter, against Jackson Cheney in his 2nd inning of work. Cheney's first pitch on the way, swung on, grounded to shortstop on a couple of hops. And Caden Argenbright fires to first over to Cameron Harrison for out number 1. Nicely done by Argenbright at shortstop. And 1 up and 1 out. And here's Luke Adell. Adell is the shortstop for Greenville. Another right-handed hitter. Both teams no runs, 1 hit. Greenville has committed an error out there. Jackson Cheney's first pitch to Adell, a breaking ball, is got a very little piece of that one. Fouled it back behind to the screen. Actually to the bricks, as it hit the bricks at the bottom of that screen. For strike 1, Luke Adell. No outs, or 1 out and nobody on. Top of the 2nd. Here's Cheney's next pitch, and he poured a strike in there. That was a fastball. And 2-0 the count. And Jackson Cheney ready to work again. And the 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Boy, Cheney just overpowered that hitter, Adell, for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 out, and here's Braden Hudspeth. He's hitting in the 7 spot. A catcher for the Leones. And steps in from the right side. And Jackson Cheney winds in the pitch. He pours a strike right in there. Jackson really looks good tonight. He is throwing strikes. In fact, I think I only show him with 1 ball in the ball game so far. And the 0-1 pitch, that's a breaking ball. Well, wouldn't you know it? He just threw his second one. 1-1 the count now to Hudspeth. Steps back in there. Field looks gorgeous, by the way. I was out there walking on it. It is like a nice, thick carpet. Ball hit up the middle. Oh, what a stab by Jackson Cheney. You need to see Doug's video to see that. He just swatted at it. It was back behind his back, and he just kind of threw the glove in that general direction, and he caught the ball. What a play by Jackson Cheney. My, oh my. 3 up and 3 down for the Greenville Lions. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We played 1.5 here from Wildcat Park. The Wildcats of Sulphur Springs 0 and Greenville. Jace Birchfield and Will Sims, the scheduled hitters, 5, 6, and 7. Austin Dodd against Greenville on Tuesday night. What a ball game. 5 for 5 at the plate. And he just almost hit for the cycle. Had 2 singles, a double, and a triple. All he needed was to hit the ball out of the park, and he would have had that cycle. But what a really nice ball game. And he was a one-man rally in that top of the 8th inning, last bat for the Wildcats, as he hit a single and then proceeded to steal second and steal third and was all the way around to third base, and lo and behold, had a hard time getting him in. But Greenville got the key hit in a similar situation, and they went away with a 10-9 win. So here is Austin Dodd. Let's see if his destruction of the Greenville pitching staff continues here. A tough little guy here, Landon Kogure. So here's Dodd from the right side, and Kogure's pitch, a breaking ball, is over for a call strike. 0-1 the count to Austin Dodd. Center fielder for the Wildcats, leading off here in the bottom of the 2nd, scoreless ball game. Pitch swing and a miss by Dodd, and he's in an 0-2 hole. So Kogure curved him to start and then threw the fastball that time. So mixing those pitches up. And Landon Kogure now, the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and hit off the fist out towards center field. A base hit for Austin Dodd. Oh my, 6 for 6, his last 6 at-bats. That one was a duck snort of all duck snorts as he hit it right off the fist and just kind of, and Willie Keeler said, hit them where they ain't. He just blooped it over the second baseman's head, and it fell in front of the center fielder. So you don't always have to murder the ball. You can just hit it just the right way sometime. Dodd with a lot of speed, big lead off first, and then Kogure kind of was waiting him out there, and Dodd went back to first. As stepping in now is Jace Birchfield for the Wildcats, the catcher. Again, Dodd with a big lead over there, and Kogure saw that. He looked at him, see if he throws that way. No, he's going to deliver home. Bunted on by Birchfield, a foul ball. Went back behind the catcher. So strike one to Jace Birchfield as Coach Jared Hammock trying to play some small ball here. As Joe Bob Bergen arrives. get a chance to see his grandson, Connor Bergen, hit in just a minute here. He showed up late one night, and Bergen had already singled when he got here. Did not like that. Here's a nice bunt by Birchfield back to Kogure, the pitcher. He throws to first, and a good sacrifice by Jace Birchfield. Out number 1, and on the play, Dodd moves to second. And now, don't think Dodd is comfortable just being there at second. I told you about that 8th inning the other night. His second steal was at third base. So here's Will Sims for the Wildcats, hitting in the 7 spot. Runner at second and 1 out. And Kogure from the stretch, looking back at Dodd at second. And a pitch on the way, swung on, hit foul. He was ahead of that one. I think it's, the left fielder going over. He was just in foul territory. And Dodd tags up and moves to third alertly. Boy, good base running there by Austin Dodd, tagging up on a fly to left. And I had given up on that ball, but the left fielder just crossed the foul line and made the catch. And so that's out number 2. Second inning in a row, the Wildcats are runner down to third. And here's Jace Thompson. Seemed like Jace had a pretty good night with the bat the other night, multiple hits. Kogure from the stretch. And the pitch on the way, that's outside. Boy, that ball had some weird-looking movement on it, and the catcher kind of boxed it there. Hudspeth did keep it in front of him, and that's the thing to do. 1-0 the count. As Kogure's ready to deliver again to Jace Thompson. That was up too high, 2-0 the count. The Wildcats left fielder. Jace is kind of a utility guy. I've seen him play second, short. Probably could move him over third, I guess. Could play quite a few positions for the Wildcats. And again, out in left field tonight. Here's Kogure's 2-0 pitch. That's in there for a call strike. It's the outside part of the plate. Thompson may have had a take sign on that one. He may have been telling Kogure, I want you to throw me a strike before I get serious up here in the batter's box. Again, Kogure from the stretch. And the 2-1 pitch. Oh, that was a breaking ball way outside, and Hudspeth did a good job of tracking that one. I thought that had the backstop written all over it. 3-1 the count now to Jace Thompson. 2 out, runner at third. That's Austin Dodd at third for the Wildcats. And again, Landon Kogure. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swung on. Thompson hit a foul back out of play. And the count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. And again, 2 outs. And the Wildcats have a runner at third base. They've had 2 hits tonight. Greenville 1. We play in the bottom of the second. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. And Kogure has the strikeout pitch working. That's his 3rd strikeout in 2 innings. So the Wildcats, no runs. They had a hit. No Greenville errors. And 1 runner left on base. We've played 2 complete innings now here at Wildcat Park. So Wildcats of Sulphur Springs 0 and Greenville 0.